How do? It's me again, Old Scooter, here to play Spider. Solitaire, and the game, of course, but Spider Mac over here with the flying cursor. What I perceive to be the artificial intelligence, the machine learning capable, but very small and succinct algorithm that learns from the people who play it. If it's the same person over and over again as it is here, I'll tell you, I made a discovery today about it. So easy to supplement crazed theories, as so many people do. Okie doke, we're here to play the game. The name of this night's endeavor? Cough Along with Scooter. No, it is a speech writing exercise. I'll tell you about that after we get the game started. A new game, 2 suits. Look at that. 3 4s and 1 red 5. And it may be that the best move is one of these 4s goes to this 5, but let's start, see what we got. See if it generates anything. That didn't. Not that way. Anyway, we get to see what was under there. So I'll take my licks over there. And I may take it all back anyway. That's 2 plays. That's not very impressive. Okay. So I'll take that one back and try this one. Well, it's just not going to give me a great card, apparently. Spider Mac sometimes gets started like this. Doesn't let you get out of the blocks. So, should I stick with that? Why not? I'm in a fatalistic mood. So the speech writing thing, that is the title of this game, speech writing edition. What I'm doing is I do this, have done it for a long time. I'll write a little speech. I was one time a speech writer, for heaven's sakes. Rather low-level speech writer for a U.S. congressman. So I've been writing little speeches ever since, and I'll send what I think would be just hunky-dory if some politician would say it. I send it to said politician. I've sent speeches. Why don't you make this speech, Senator, or Congressman, or Mr. Mayor, or whatever. Off and on, over the years, not many, maybe 5. I've put a couple on my blog, seniorjunior.blogspot blog thing. There's one on there I can remember. There's what I wish Obama would have said, sort of early in his tenure in the White House. I said it. He never used, as best I can tell, even a smidgen of it in any of his speeches, but it was thoughtful. I send advice to politicians who I think might sort of do something that I think would be good, and my mode of communication is I write a speech and send it to them. What do you think of this speech, Congressman? It's a sign of a good retirement if you have time to do crazy wackadoodle stuff like that. It's gratifying, it's fun, might do some good. Who knows? So the speech, and the reason I'm doing it this way is I found playing this game and talking basically to myself. You're not here. You may be watching it at this moment in your perception, but at this moment in my perception, I'm sitting all by myself in my loft, playing a game I really like and talking to myself. That took 3 fingers, but the Apple touchpad that came with this, it's just a touchpad, but it does lots of good stuff, 2 fingers and sideways, all kinds of good stuff, including letting you, if you go and you sort of run out of space, go back and pick up that other finger. Can you see what I'm doing? No. But anyway, I like the Apple touchpad. Alright. I've got a 10 stack. It's not much is happening. So what I've discovered doing this game is that I'll go in with the idea of, okay, I'm going to talk about the parade on 4th Avenue. But I have no idea what I'm going to say, really. Sometimes I have a vague idea, but mostly not. And it comes to me. Something comes to me. I'm not saying it's high quality coming, so to speak. It's just something comes to me. You know, it's a blessing when something comes to you. I think people who are great ad-libbers, I mean, like, way beyond your average YouTuber. I gotta talk about YouTubers one of these games. Woo! I spent some time in YouTube gaming, or is it gaming.youtube, I think, which is sort of YouTube's very effective competition with Twitch. Not many people will just openly slobber on camera. I think as you get older, and I'm old, you lose some feeling in your lip. That's why it's not uncommon. It doesn't make it any less gross, but there it is. A rationale, a reason, physiological, aging. You can blame almost anything on it when you get old. But old is good. Dang tootin'. The weather here in the mountains is moderating a bit, not quite as hot as it's been recently. Here, it never got out of the 80s, which is pretty warm for up here. Did some repair work and some extensions and additions to the drip system today. I mean, I can sweep my eyes back and forth across this 4 or 5 more minutes, but it's not going to get any better. So, what did I do? Lost $73. $50. Got to hit $5.50 to break even, as I have said. Should you have ever seen another of these games, you would have heard that probably. $500 to get in, $5.50 to break even. I got $4.77. That's the $50 house margin plus 23 moves at $1 a piece. That comes to $73, and that's what I lost in a very uninteresting game. Thanks a lot, Spider Mac. So just to finish this very quickly, I thought if I described this speech, it would sort of come to me and develop better. So it's kind of a neurological experiment. So the idea is, it's my view that part of the source of racism in this country is through the Jim Crow period, and as the power shifted and the concepts and the strategies evolved, basically, for political purposes, pressure was created of various sociological forms that kept poor black people, particularly in the South, and poor white people in the same area, from ever coalescing as a force to fight for the problems that people living below the poverty line have. That they would have some more political clout, they might get a little better regulations or some better job situation. They would be able to do something about their plight of being poor, which can come up on you like a cold these days. And if they formed together, the poor blacks and the poor whites, they would be a formidable political bloc. And so Jim Crow in particular augmented making the two groups feel apart. And the society in general had the white people, the poor white people, made to feel superior to the poor black people. Just a theory. So my message and the speech is to talk to people in the general population and define who you're talking to as people who live below the poverty line, and talk about the problems they have. Their inaccessibility of public services, unfair wage structures, unreasonable work conditions, failure ever to quite make ends meet, exploitation by payday loans, and all the things that go wrong when you're poor. And what happens to you if you're poor, holding on by your fingernails, and you get busted and go to jail to hold for a trial because you can't make bail, and you're out of circulation for 10 days, you lose your job, you lose your house, so forth. All the bad things that happen to poor people. And then point out and be very upfront about it, is that I'm talking about poor black people, I'm talking about poor Hispanics, I'm talking about poor white people. And you guys, we've got to figure a way we can work together, because together we can solve a lot of these economic or financial problems for our class. We can improve the lower class. We can turn the attention of government to the poor for the first time substantively in a long time. That's the speech. It's coming out okay. Maybe I can just transcribe this. Well, there. That was the speech. I will get it written up, I hope, and think about what to do with it, and I'll keep you apprised, as I frequently think. I'm sure you can't wait. No worries.